It's the night before the historic first championship game here in Houston. Temple has arrived and both teams are ready to go. A lot on the line with not only the American Championship, but also a New Year's Six Bowl up for the taking. Matt Rhule kicked things off at today's championship press conference and is extremely proud of this year's group, especially the leadership his senior class has shown. The magnitude of this game is high, but he's confident that he has the team to take care of business this year, even after losing to Houston the past 2 seasons.
I was kind of waiting to see how the week went. I think if anything, I was a little bit concerned, you put all your eggs in one basket. This becomes this huge game, and then the moment gets too big. I think the one thing that I'm really, pleased about, I believe everything in life happens for a reason and prepares you for moments. And we came down here last year, and there was cameras in the locker room, and we have guys painting their face before the game, which we don't do, and we're doing all this silly stuff. We came out here and we got we got sent back home, and so I wouldn't expect us to be too happy to be here. We've lost to Houston 2 years in a row, and no one likes that, right? I mean, we would like to have a chance to win the game. And my concern has been more, is this going to be too big of a moment for us? Are we going to get so nervous because it's this? And so I've just tried to get them to say, hey, it's all what we control. It's how we play, and I think the kids have echoed that sentiment. So if any team can do it, I think this team can do it.
The defense has been the storyline for Temple all year, and although they faced some late season adversity, they have gotten back to the basics and are going to need everyone tomorrow against a high-tempo Houston offense.
Well, I think the last 2 weeks our defense has been the story. We've kept them out of the end zone. I think it's like anything else, right? Sometimes you lose your way just a little bit, and it shows up at the wrong moment. And South Florida is the type of team now that you can't make a mistake with the athletes that they have. And of all the people we've played this year in our schedule, a lot of people tell you that they were as good as anybody. And so if you're a half step too far over here or a step too late, good teams can hurt you, and that's what happened. And I think after that our team kind of settled down. Phil Snow got back, just kind of got them all back to the basics, and we've played really well since then. We played really hard, and we played more people, and I think that's a big key tomorrow. We know Houston's a no-huddle team, a tempo team, so we're prepared to play 20-some guys, which we've been doing, and it worked against Memphis, it worked against UConn, and hopefully it'll work tomorrow.
Rhule knows they are going up against an offense that can put up a lot of points, and although a fast start would be nice for this Temple group, he knows their true identity shines in the second half.
Well, we would love to start fast. That's kind of, we would love to do that. I don't think there's a faster starting team in the country than Houston. I think at one point, Houston people here it was like 6, 7 straight games where they scored on the first drive. Matter of fact, we went back and studied them to say, what are they doing and what can we do? And they were just making a lot of plays and scoring. So, but that at the end of the day, we got to stay true to who we are. We are try to drag you into the fourth quarter and try to, we feel like if we're not down by 14 in the fourth quarter, we have a chance. And look at like our fourth quarter scoring, and we're one of the better teams in the country. So we would love to start fast, but we were here last year. It was 17-10, and we were really playing pretty poorly. And we still had a chance with the ball on the 1 yard line to tie it and make it 17-17. So one thing we've learned is just to be patient and just to keep playing. And we don't lose the game in the first half. We don't win the game in the first half. It just feels a lot better when you're up. So we'll see what we can do early, but know that we win games in the fourth quarter.
Coach Rhule's group is ready, and they'll have to face a Houston team that has excelled this year under the leadership of first-year head coach Tom Herman, who just received a contract extension announced earlier this morning. He's excited for the university and the city of Houston to host the inaugural American Championship game.
The biggest thing that I needed to hear was that we were committed to pulling out all the stops in order to, not just have a Cinderella season, so to speak, but to really build a championship program and a foundation here that can sustain. And I think we're certainly a lot closer to that than we've ever been.
Senior running back Kenneth Farrow is day-to-day right now and will play tomorrow if he's available. But if not, Brandon Wilson will fill in at running back again after a great performance against Navy last week. Coach Herman says there's a very good chance Wilson will play both sides of the ball.
Kenneth is day-to-day. We won't, he's still hobbled a little bit, but, practiced, did some light drills. So, if he can go, he's going to go. And, but if he can't, then certainly Brandon will have to play tailback. And then, because last week afforded us the ability to have Brandon kind of solely on offense because we're playing Navy in their triple option and didn't really. In fact, we didn't play any true corners in our package. We played 2 safeties at the corner position. It afforded us the opportunity to have him on offense the entire week, but this week he's kind of been doing double duty. So, depending on Pharaoh's health, I could certainly see him, playing on both sides of the ball.
Houston's offense has been prolific this year and will have to go up against a Temple defense who has gotten a lot of national attention this season. The Temple D had 5 all-conference selections, including Alex Wells, Matt Ioannidis, Nate D. Smith, Sean Chandler, and Tyler Matakevich. The Owls haven't allowed a touchdown in 2 games.
There's, whatever there is, 22 selections on offense and defense for the first team all-conference, and Temple had 7 of them. And, by comparison, we only had 3. And so they're very talented, especially on defense, and, it'll be a challenge. I mean, their numbers are not a farce. Their numbers and what they've been able to do throughout a 12-game regular season has been very, very remarkable.
When asked about the strong play across the league in the conference this season, both coaches agreed that their teams can play on the field with anybody and everybody.
So I think the validity of the level of competition in this league has certainly surfaced this season. And it's a meat grinder of a schedule, I can tell you that. There's no gimmies on your conference schedule. This is a very talented league from top to bottom. I think the competition week in and week out is tremendous, and couldn't be prouder than I am of the season that not just that we've had, but the conference as a whole, because I think it certainly has validated our stance as the premier non-Power 5 conference in the country.
We're hours away from kickoff. Be sure to tune in at noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central on ABC. We'll have full coverage for you all day right here on the American Digital Network.